Hi there y'all, and welcome to Millennial Meals. On this episode, we're going to be making some fried rice. Let's get into it. So for ingredients, at minimum you want rice. So for the rice, I used jasmine rice. Now for the secondary ingredients, I had eggs, bacon, chicken breasts, mixed veggies, green onions, cashews, butter and oil, crushed red peppers, soy sauce, and finally, garlic. For equipment, you're going to want a rice cooker, a pan, a spatula, a knife, a stir cup for your eggs, a large bowl or two large bowls depending on how much you need for your ingredients, and a cutting board. Now, depending upon your ingredients, you may want to start with your meats first to ensure they've been properly cooked before you try to mix them in your overall batch. In this case, I like starting with my bacon and eggs first. Now grab your pan and put it on your stovetop and turn on to medium heat. For this process, I started off with about 3 strips of bacon at a time. Once those strips were done, I would throw those off into a different plate and then put 2 scrambled eggs into that pan to soak up that bacon fat to add a little bit more flavor to the eggs. So it was basically 3 strips of bacon, 2 eggs, 3 strips of bacon, 2 eggs, and I would do that until all those ingredients were done. Each time I had a small batch of bacon and eggs that were finished, I would throw them into a separate plate. When you have all your finished batches of bacon and eggs in one plate, be sure to cut up those eggs and smash the bacon into smaller pieces to make it easier to have smaller portions when you add it to the overall batch. Next, you're going to want to grab your chicken breasts and place them into the pan. Cook them thoroughly until there's no pink coloration on the inside. Grab a meat probe if available and check the largest portion of the meat to test the internal temperature. We're looking for an internal temperature of about 165 degrees. While the chicken is cooking, you may want to get your rice started so that it'll be ready once your meats are finished. When each chicken breast finishes, place it on your cutting board to cut it up along with your bigger pieces of vegetables. In this case, it was my carrots and green onions. For the secondary ingredients, place those into a large bowl. Once your rice finishes, place that into another large bowl. At the end of this, you should have 2 large bowls, one with your secondary ingredients, like your eggs, bacon, and all the other fun stuff, and another with just your rice, which is your primary ingredient in this concoction. Basically, the point here is to make sure all of the ingredients are properly cooked or prepped before throwing them all together in one big mix of flavors. For some folks, they like to have 1 bowl of rice and 1 bowl for the ingredients. In this scenario, I simply had 1 large bowl filled with rice where I would then throw in my secondary ingredients into it to lower the amount of dishes I'd have to clean after and also to more easily track where I was in this big cook-off. Just be sure to mix it up properly so that there isn't any pockets of just one singular ingredient. With your ingredients ready, throw about a tablespoon of butter or a dab of oil along with a teaspoon of garlic into the pan that you were using earlier to cook all the previous ingredients. Let the butter or oil spread into your pan, and once it's about in the liquid form, throw about a plateful of the mixed rice into the pan. Cook the rice in the pan while stirring it intermittently for about 2 minutes. After about 2 minutes, you can start adding your soy sauce and pepper flakes all the while stirring it like before. Every so often, you should pour yourself a small portion of your fried rice to try it and tweak it to your liking. In my case, I would cook it for an additional 5 minutes, all the while still stirring it to make sure that it was evenly cooked. Each panful should take about 7 minutes to cook fully if you did the previous steps. This can vary though depending upon the amount of ingredients you have. Once everything is said and done, you should have a plate full of fried rice in a reasonable amount of time unless you're making a large batch like I was. With that said though, this is how you make fried rice. Hope y'all stay safe and have a good one.